Hey guys, here today, and with this video my path to the glory begins. Okay, that should be a really cocky title for such a small channel, but this has happened to change. Keep watching because I am facing my strategy plan. I will share all the information with you. Maybe you are wondering what a strategic plan is.
And in such a small scale, it's more like a
self-study process. We perform a strategic plan just to put all the efforts into the same direction. And this is important, keep in mind the word direction. Because the main idea of a strategic plan is to align all your efforts into one goal or many goals. And one of the characteristics of a strategic plan is made for a specific time frame. Boring. Yeah. I know it could sound a little bit boring, but remember how many projects has been abandoned during the last years. Let me tell you a story. I worked in a company that was specialized on creating strategic plans. And I've seen many times companies that not achieve those goals because they were not aligned. And the purpose of those strategic plans is to get all the passion of the people that work in that company and align to a specific goal. This is why a strategic plan is important, because you need the alignment of each and every actor in the environment. Let's talk about the different parts that are important for a strategic plan. Because as said previously, a strategic plan is really important to align all the processes and efforts into one direction. All the goals should be measurable, because the things that you can't improve are the things that you can't measure. And there are a couple of things that are really important for a strategic plan, is to know your skills and to know your limitations. And if you are part of a larger company or a larger organization, maybe you need some other inputs. In this particular case, we are using other special inputs, because I want to base my strategy plan in ideas of other creators that had some kind of success in the past, like Jonas Roller or Gavin from 2-Star Games. So I'm trying to fit those ideas into my plan. And I need to be also a little bit agile, so I need to adapt to any kind of struggle. So if I can identify that my strategy plan is not going to work, I need to adapt and retarget my goals. Stay tuned, because I'm showing my strategy plan later on. I will show all the process, I will guide you through the process. It's really easy and will give you a really big boost in your game dev journey. And you can apply these ideas to any kind of area, not only to game dev. You can apply those ideas to consulting, woodworking, baking bread, wherever. But I'm a game dev, I don't need a strategic plan to make games. Shut up, because game dev is hard and you can get distracted quite easily. Even more if you have to make other things like a full-time job or get some classes or YouTube videos or baking bread again. Even more if you need to do it on a daily basis. With all those additional tasks, you should not lose your focus. And of course you can, it's good. We want to stay away from burnout. But you need to be very focused on your goals, because everything is hard. Let me tell a story. I recognize you that it's really hard, game dev and YouTube at the same time, but it's not the hardest project I've been involved on. Because in the past, like a silly guy, I tried to create an application to calculate the odds of sports events. And the hilarious part of this story is that the majority of the people of my department wanted to invest money on my project, like if I was some kind of magic tipster. It was hilarious to see how people in my department was investing money in an application made by a guy that does not watch any kind of sport event. And the spoiler alert, it didn't work. Let me tell you how was my phase one of my, let's call, strategy. It was not a strategy, it was only a plan, a simple plan. My first one was mainly focused on the YouTube growth. I thought that eventually I will create a game, or a good game that will go viral. I realized that things are not like that. But all along my journey I learned a lot of things, like scripting a video, editing a video, storytelling, creating thumbnails, a lot of different things. But none of those ideas are comparable to the value that you need to provide to the audience. And this is another interesting topic. Just write in the comments below if you want me to talk about the value of the videos or the value of a product. So I previously told that I was mainly focused on YouTube growth. Here we are, on a small channel with 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys, you are the best part of the channel. Trying to add value to that community, and the main value that I found that works for me is educational content. On the other hand, maybe my goal has not achieved. I haven't skyrocketed the figures of my channel. I was suspicious about my competence to grow a YouTube channel. So I added another goal to my first plan, and it was improve my English skills. Because, yeah, if you have identified some awkward Spanish accent, bingo, you are right.
If you are here tonight, it is because you are a winner.
Why I did that? Because I work in an international company, and I'm in touch with many different people, and we are always talking in English. So I realized that even if I don't achieve my main goal of growing the YouTube channel, if I had a different objective aside from the external factors of YouTube, I will somehow accomplish some of my goals, just with some rehearsal and making videos that I want to make. So that's multipurposing. And it's one of the main things I want to focus. I want to multipurpose all my stuff. That way, accomplishing some of the goals will be easier for me. But we will talk about that later on. And what issues did I have in my phase 1 to create a new strategic plan? I suffered a lot from analysis paralysis. Because although I had one goal, I didn't have a path to achieve that goal. So a bunch of different tasks in front of me made me a really hard decision. Instead of carrying out some of those tasks, I just started working on a different task. But here we are, after 2 years of YouTube and a bunch of videos in a small channel. I'm so convinced of my new strategic plan that I can admit that this video is part of the new strategy plan. So let's talk about my phase 2. The brand new strategy. Now we are entering the new phase 2, with a new big boss. Because a strategic plan is like a map in the Ocarina of Time game. It shows you where to go, like the next dungeon or where to find the important item, so you don't get lost in Hyrule. Imagine trying to beat Ganondorf without knowing where the Master Sword is. You'll never win. Now you can see my strategic plan. Okay, remember this is a rather small strategic plan. But what's important for a strategic plan? For a strategic plan, the idea is that you gather some inputs and then you produce some outputs, and those outputs are aligned to accomplish your main goals. Then for my tiny strategic plan, we can see that it's really common to start with the vision. The vision is where you answer the question, where do you want to be in 5 years or 3 years or a specific time span? For me, in that case, the strategic plan is going to be 2 years long, because it doesn't have no sense to have a larger strategic plan for just one person. And as you can see, for me, my vision is make a reasonable good living from game dev plus social media without desperation and burnout. Yeah, that's important. No burnout, guys. Other starting point for your strategic plan should be the mission. And the mission is what you want to do in your life to get your vision. You can see that for me is make people feel emotions and attachment with new experiences in my game. Yeah, that sounds amazing, isn't it? Now, in that part, you need to provide some inputs so you can analyze and you can identify what areas you can take advantage of or what areas you need to reinforce. In my strategic plan, you can see that I've performed a SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And here you have to be really honest with you. If you are part of an organization, you need to analyze the interior of your organization. For example, for me, my weaknesses are I'm chaotic. I get overloaded really easy. I don't have any kind of art skills. I don't have music skills. I have low marketing skills. Selling a game is going to be really hard. My English is my weakness. My vocal performance. I don't have too much control on my tone or my pitch or my volume, so I need to improve in that area as well. because I use social media on the vision. So I need to be aware that social media needs my English to be okay and my vocal performance to be really okay. An additional weakness is the low budget. Okay, I have my 9-to-5 job, but I need to be on a rather stable position, so I can't spend a lot of money. The other part for the internal analysis is the strengths. My strengths are: I'm creative, I'm empathic, I know how to code, I'm good at side thinking, I'm multidisciplinary, I can make many things, I'm not worried about that. I have 1K subscribers on YouTube, I have an analytic mind, I'm good at problem solving, and I'm strategic. What I want to say is that I know how to be strategic. On my daily basis, I'm chaotic as hell. And the last of my strengths is that lately I'm trying to have a psychological approach. So let's flip our analysis. On the outside part of our analysis, we have the threats and our opportunities. We have to analyze our environment. For example, for my threats, the game market is flooded with different games. There is a lot of competence. I have a full-time job, so my daily work should be prioritized. And additionally, I have multiple side projects, and this is a threat for me. Because the side projects are not started by me, are started by external actors, people that came to me to help them in different areas. On the opportunities part, I think that there is a place for nostalgia, differentiation. There are low saturated games. I already have some social media presence. And I think some art gimmicks or non-conventional games are an opportunity right now. At that part, what I try to make is a first run of goal and what we need to achieve with those proposals for goal. In my case, I just try to create goals pairing items of the different boxes. For example, one of my first goals is develop some art skills like 3D, low poly, or something related with nostalgia. Then you can see that it is focused on strengthen the weakness of no art skills, and it should be focused on nostalgia, maybe some PSX graphics or something like that. For the next goal, create plans and workflows, refuse to start new projects, and assign daily time slot. This is the second one, because I want to get rid of my chaotic perspective. I don't want to get overloaded. I have an analytic mind and I have a strategic approach, and I know how to create those strategic plans and schedules. This is also related with the threat of my daily work prioritization. Yeah, and so on. Then you can see that I'm trying to get rid of weaknesses and threats supported by the strengths and opportunities. It's some kind easy. At that point, you would have some rough goals, but you can add more input to your strategic plan. In that phase, I added something called critical success factor. It's really common to group those critical success factors in 4 main areas, which are financial, customer, internal businesses, processes, and learn and growth. Yeah, guys, maybe this is too business oriented, but we can assign financial, money, customers, players, internal businesses, processes, pipelines and workflows, and learn and growth. Yeah, learn and growth. That was easy. Here we can see that we've added some more information, like it could be the continuous market research. We should perform some kind of continuous market research. Because let me explain that critical success factors are specific elements or action areas in a business, a team, a department, or a person, in that case because we are creating this strategic plan solo, must focus on and successfully align to reach its strategic objectives, its strategic goals. If you are familiar with the strategic wording, I'm trying to avoid the word objectives because it's really hard for me to pronounce. So I'm swapping it for goals. It's easier for me to pronounce goals. So for your critical success factors, you also need to align with the goals. And then you can rephrase again, thinking with your critical success factors, your new goals or your final goals. To create our goals, we are using the SMART method, SMART, which means that your goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. It has no sense that you create one of your goals to get 2,000 million subscribers or sell 2,000 million copies. Well, you can write that goal, but it's not achievable. And if you can't measure your goal, maybe change your goal for another thing. Last part. It condenses all the information that we previously added to the strategic plan. In that part, we just have the goals, and under the goals we have big groups that we call actions, and the action just push forward the same goal. And we also have the KPIs or the measurements. No, not that kind of measurement. So we can check if our performance is good or bad along the project. So let's see some examples. For the first goal, learn how to art. Easy. And the KPI that I have access to is the engagement on social media. So the actions would be develop art skills like Blender, shaders, etc. and create art on social media. Easy. Another important goal for me, organize myself. Yeah. And how would you know if you are doing it okay? Because my KPI is to measure the unplanned and delayed tasks from my planning. And to organize myself, I have the actions, create and review a fully detailed calendar or schedule for each goal. I would perform that task monthly and track every task. Yeah, and I perform the same thing for all the objectives. And to show you that I'm serious, I can show you that I've created some spreadsheets where I have organized my goals with the status and the total invested hours, the task that the goals have. And as told previously, I also have the actions, and the actions are referenced to the goals. Maybe an action could add value to two different goals, and under the actions we have the task. And here I write down all the tasks that I perform to a specific action, and the time will flow down to the goal level. And this is it. Even that you think that this kind of planning is stupid, you can see that I've invested 10 hours on organizing myself. I've invested 5 hours on social media growth. I've invested 2 hours on improving my English skills. Maybe I need to increase that one because I'm just recording that speech. And I'm also tracking all that tasks that are not aligned, so I can measure how distracted I've been during the week. Even this small video is part of my strategic plan. Maybe it has been a little bit boring hearing an Spaniard talking to a microphone with a strong accent, but over time I will improve my English and you will be more comfortable hearing my voice. And maybe you are prone to click my subscribe button, and maybe you are willing to buy my game in the future. Yeah, this is how a strategic mind works. Have a nice day, guys!